Oh, this is so good. I don't have to do the clappy soundy thing. I'm going to do it anyway, because it's tradition. All right. Hello, my name is Brock, and I'm a booktuber. And it turns out that sitting on your butt doesn't get videos made. So, I have decided to fire my screenwriter, my director, my producer, my cinematographer, and my editor. I was just way too obsessed with getting all the stuff in the background kind of right, and not enough about, hey, I need to talk about books. So, turns out we've got a nice, busy September coming up. Let's read my TBR for Space Opera September. Thomas from the wonderful channel SSF 180 is hosting Space Opera September, a month-long read-along where we get to read a lot of space operas. One thing I discovered is that I am way better at buying space operas than I am at reading them. I am excited and anticipating a lot of really, really cool works in space opera. I just never open them and turn the pages, which means I have a lot of things on my shelf and a lot of titles to choose from. Now, Thomas went and did something interesting. He made a read-along that was both achievable and realistic in its scope. You really only have to read 4 books, and there's a little certificate you get at the end of it for completing various challenges and goals. I don't have a lot of time, so I will post all relevant links below for your enlightenment. Long story short, for each book you read, you gain a rank either on the Federation or Pirate track, so you can become a Space Cadet, a pilot, a Wing Commander, a Fleet Admiral. I'm reading this right off the Goodreads group. Or you can become a Space Cadet, a Privateer, a Rebel Leader, or a Space Pirate on the Rebel track. There's a graphic and Thomas's video again below. I like big spaceships and organizations, so I'm going to be taking the Federation track because I want a nice big capital ship or something at the end of this. It'll be cool. Now, I had some difficulty in picking out a TBR to read for the challenge. I'm going to be traveling right at the start of September, so I need to be able to pack light and take as little with me as possible. Books included. I'm basically going to pack 1 suitcase and have nothing in it. This, however, fits in perfectly with the first challenge, read a space opera novella. And for that one, I have chosen The Fortress at the End of Time by Joe M. Mcdermott. It looks to be a confessional science fiction tale about Captain Ronaldo Aldo. Here we go, reading the thing. Captain Ronaldo Aldo has committed an unforgivable crime. He will ask for forgiveness all the same from you, from God, and even himself. So this looks to be one of those confessional science fiction, this is how I killed half the people in the universe kind of story. I don't know. I like the cover, and I like the name. The Fortress at the End of Time. I love big titles like that. Since I'm going the Federation track, I am going to be doing 2A, read 2 space operas by women. Option 2B is read a space opera by a diverse author featuring a diverse protagonist and or major characters. But for 2 space operas written by women, I am going to be reading Down Below Station by C.J. Cherry. This will fill out part of my read all the Hugo Award-winning novels. I haven't made a lot of progress on that lately, and so Down Below Station fits into that perfectly. Space opera, Hugo Award winner. And a book I got for free from Mid-American back in 2016, Behind the Throne by K.B. Wagers. Space opera, I get to read it now. This has a very, very Firefly. Every book is compared to Firefly nowadays. If it's got space pirates in it, and they are ruffians, and they gallivant around the galaxy in a spaceship, comparison to Firefly. I think I've mentioned this book many times before, but it has been a long spell. So this one basically is a Space Princess Gunrunner. Challenge number 3, read a space opera before you were born. I'm going to be reading Sundiver by David Brin. I have never read David Brin before. This is about a bunch of people who take a spaceship into the sun to discover the mysteries as to why humans are basically capable of space travel in the future. It turns out this takes place in a universe where species only achieve a certain technological level if they are uplifted by a sort of host or foster species. So they don't get the intelligence, the technology, and the awareness unless an uplift happens. Humankind, somehow has achieved this without the help of an uplift. And so they're trying to discover why something like this has happened when it previously has not happened before. Mostly, I just like the little alien pointy dude on the front. You know, space is on fire, yo. 4, read a space opera 500 pages or longer. This one Challenge 4 is read a space opera 500 pages or longer. Now, actually, this book has to be larger than 500 pages, so I've decided upon The Promise of the Child. I think I've tried putting this forward for certain readathons before. This one is just over 500 pages. I don't know that much about it, other than that it takes place in the 147th century, and it actually starts in what I believe is Prague in the 1600s or something? The 1300s. So it starts in Prague in the 1300s and will somehow jump forward a few 100,000 years, which is cool. There hasn't been a lot to know about this book. Even the descriptions on the back don't really tell you what this story is about. The only thing I know is that it is space opera. That's it. Now, of course, I'm only going to take a couple of those books with me on travel, so if I end up running out of the one or two that I'm taking with me, I'm probably going to go to a bookstore and pick up something else, so this TBR may change drastically. I'm a mood reader. This happens a lot. With a stack like this, I think September is going to be a very enjoyable reading month. There's a lot of potential for good stuff. So thank you, Thomas, for making a read-along that fits in with BookTube SFF, and I commend you for strengthening and helping this community become something a little bit more. I hope you guys have a wonderful time reading in September, and we will talk to you later. The one thing I've never done, and I actually get to remember this, is I can do the thumbnail. I never get to freeze for the thumbnail. I have never remembered to do this in like, what, 5 years of doing this? It might be a small deal for you, but that's a huge deal for me. I did the thumbnail thing. Oh my goodness, you don't know how wow.